Well, here we are, folks, back in Virtual Pool 4. We're here for Friday Night 9-ball, and straight away, the usual disclaimer. I'm working again tomorrow, so we're only going to get some of this tournament, and there's I think there's, the last check, there was 12 signed up, so we'll try and get some matches in. We certainly probably won't get all of them in. I'm going to have to pull the plug at some point, but hopefully we'll get to see some decent pool. Let's have a look at the, in fact, the bracket. Well, maybe another minute or so to go, I think. Let's have a look and see what we've got. We had 12 at the last count. I think that's the same. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Still get 12, so we've got a right mixture. 2 or 3 champions in it. It's a Moneyball handicap tournament. Race to 7 on the winner's side, race to 4 on the 1 loss side, and a final to 9. And remember that Moneyball handicap does play a part. If these strong guys get a bit careless, they can easily be stung. We're on YouTube, we're on, well, Twitch, and also on Facebook. The chat, excuse me, the chat should be working. I think I need a drink already. I think the voice is going and I've not even started. That's better. But we should be having the bracket up any second. Let's see. Now that page is going to refresh in a second or two. One last check, see if there's any latecomers. Nope. It looks as if it's going to be it, and the event is now active, so we'll have a quick look at the bracket. The handicaps will still have to appear. It takes a second or two for them to appear, but we'll have a look and see what we've got. We've got Houdini against Capo in the round 1 match. We've got Bill, who's going to get a bye. Black Jagged's going to be playing John Boo. Larry will have a bye. DJ Simon is going to be playing semi-pro. DJ Simon and semi-pro. And then we've got Rico getting a bye, Simanx and Spectre Dawn, Tommy the Welder. So I think the match we're going to look at is going to be DJ Simon and semi-pro. There's going to be a handicap there. DJ Simon getting the 8 ball. And well, if Simon keeps his head and plays sensibly, he could get the use of that 8 ball. We'll see what happens. So rooms should be up. And first of all, having said that, DJ Simon is... oh, there he is. I see him now. Let's nip into the room. Semi-pro's already in. Well, that's assuming that DJ Simon actually is here. Although he's showing up in the lobby, he might be busy, and it might be a short match. So he's got 5 minutes to get in the room. He will get that audio or the audible warning, the alert to let him know that the room is up. We might have to go into another room if this gets called out. Right, let's look back at that bracket. So the bracket's now fixed itself to show the players that have got a bye. So the winner of the Houdini Capel match is going to be playing Mr. Bill, and it's safe to say that whoever wins that match, Bill's going to be given a hefty handicap to them. Here we go, DJ Simon's arrived, and both players are ready to go. I don't know whose cue's what. I think that's Simon in the left. So they're going to lag off for the break. And if that was Simon in the left, he's too heavy, and that's a good lag. In fact, no, I was wrong. It was DJ Simon that got the lag on the right hand side. And he breaks off rack number 1, and we have a ball down. He's got no shot in the 1, so should be looking for a push out somewhere, and somewhere down. Well, the problem with playing down the table here towards this 8 ball and 5 ball is he could easily be hooked, and that was not a particularly good push out. I don't know whether he tried to push that 1 ball onto that top rail. He just didn't get the pace in it. But let's look at that 3 ball. We can see the 3 ball goes, and the 5 ball goes. So it's about, no, does it go? Let's have a look. That's tight. It goes in off the jaw. Now, I don't know whether he can avoid hitting this 9. This might affect the position of the cue ball. And, well, he's almost got out far enough. But he's got the perfect angle now, even if he does clip the 8 ball to run around back up for that 6. And that's almost got away, but still got a shot. Just a reminder, player 1 is DJ Simon. He's getting the 8 ball, that's his extra money ball. But he might not get a shot at it in this rack after that poor push out. So it's going to be semi-pro getting off the mark. He wins the first rack. It's winner breaks. And it looks dry. Well, once again, DJ Simon doesn't have a shot. Now, if he just gets that thin enough, he can just pop that 1 behind the 2 and 4 and hide the cue ball up the table. He's got to get it really thin though, not move this 1 ball very far. Well, in the end, it's sort of worked out, although there's enough of an edge there for semi-pro to get some spin on this cue ball. He's playing right hand spin to try and get up. Well, I thought he was going to try and get up towards the 8, but again, he's not got the cover. And Simon can punch this 1 ball around the angles. Try and keep that cue ball down in this corner. And he doesn't want to get too much top on this because the cue ball can squirt away. That's going to creep out, and there might be enough of that shown to be potted, and there is. Good evening, welcome. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, this will be some of Friday night 9-ball tournament. Some of the matches. It won't be all. It won't. I'll start again. I won't be seeing this through to the end. That's what I meant to say. We have to get to bed, so we'll get probably a couple of hours in, depending how quick the matches go. So semi-pro gets the 1 ball. And, well, the only problem ball at the moment is the 4. The 4's just slightly awkward. Its path to the corner there is partially blocked, although it does go, but it just means you have to be more accurate with the position. And if it hits that 5 ball, that'll help very nicely. And that's worked out pretty good. He needs to get a bit of movement in the cue ball here. Yep, he's left that short. He's got to get this thin. Yeah, that was always going to be the issue. So here's DJ Simon's chance. And remember, he just needs that 6, the 7 and the 8, so there shouldn't be a problem as long as he takes his time and gets this 6 ball. Yeah, the default colour for this table is green, but I've chosen blue myself. I think it's a slightly better contrast. So, DJ Simon, oh, he's miscued. Goodness me, what the hell's he doing here? More to the point, how did he manage to squirt his cue so much? He must have accidentally moved that point of his cue there on the cue ball. So, from what was looking like 1-all, Simon has blown it big time, and that bank and that 9 ball have given semi-pro a 2-0 lead, so that has got to hurt that one. You just lose concentration of what you're actually doing, silly things can happen. So semi-pro breaks off in rack number 3. The rack has come up dry. And really Simon has to get his act together pretty quickly here. And he's offline. He's playing cold. And that's not going to help him much. Because, well, semi-pro's overcooked that, but he's probably going to play the reverse bank into that top right-hand corner. Let's check my little doodle's working. Yes, it is. So he gets the bank. And he's not sitting very good on this 5 ball. You can cut it back into the corner. You can actually try a bank up the table, but he's only going to get 1 go at it past that 9 ball. But he's gone for the cut, and that is pretty good. He's even got a slight angle in the 6. He can just stun the 6 in. Well, Simon said he's just done a format in his PC and reinstall VP4. Well, that isn't going to help him. So, semi-pro leaving it short, so he's going to have to bank the 8 ball and get that cue ball running to get onto this 9 ball. So still a glimmer of a chance here for Simon, but that chance may well have gone now. So semi-pro so far under no pressure whatsoever, finds himself 3-0 up. Well, the 9 balls, one of the balls that got kicked in there, that gets respotted. And semi-pro also sank the 6 ball. Now, will that 1 ball go in off the 3? It looks like it. And then it goes. Cue ball spinning around the table. It's going to be no joy. So he's going to have to get the escape here. And he went all out for the jump and the cut on the 2. But he's left it pretty safe. And Simon needs to keep things tight if he's going to get himself any opportunity to somehow get back into this match. Because if not, it could pretty quickly run away from him. Well, that needs to keep going, but it's going to leave the combo. And that's pretty dead set. 8 ball might be going slightly towards the jaw, but it can easily be redirected. The question is where's the 2 ball going to finish? Well, he's missed a combo. And he's got second prize, so jump cue out straight away, more than likely. Needs to watch the scratch off this 9 ball here. If he hits that, he could skip into that top left hand corner. Well, he's avoided that. Oh, with a bit of a twitch there on the screen. Well, it's gone middle of no man's land, but it's a cut back into the top left for semi-pro. Going to have to play a good shot to get on the 3 though, because it's partially hidden behind the 4. Now, can he see enough of it? Yes, he can. So there's another good chance here for semi-pro to get another rack in the board. Well, that's hard to say what he tried there, did he? I presume he tried the bank so he could get the cue ball up for the 5. As it is, he's left a chance now for DJ Simon. Now, can he get to the 8 ball? Well, this is going to be the crucial one. Well, this is going to be tough. He's going to be running towards that 9. Well, he's managed to draw it back, so surely he can't miss this to get off the mark. And now trails by 2 and now has the break, so how's his luck? And the answer to that is nothing doing. The break's dry, it's gone behind the 2, but an easy escape for semi-pro. And he's got lucky there. Didn't leave the one on. But Simon's managed to get the escape and he's got good cover. Well, so far I've only seen one viewer in the chat. Is there anybody else out there, either on YouTube or maybe on Facebook? If there is, let us know. Say hello. Well, that's a good one, because semi-pro can't jump it at that distance. I don't know whether he's got enough of an angle to get that one from that side rail, and obviously he couldn't. Good evening, Slim. I noticed you didn't manage to get in the tournament. Simon going to the long grass again. Well, this time it's not a problem for the escape. It's just where the one ball's going to end up. Now, if he hits it half ball on the left side, he can bank this one ball back up the table, sort of down this direction. So we're going to have a wee bit of cat and mouse here. Ah, playing doubles. Well, this time semi-pro has got the telling safety, and that has got Simon in a heap of trouble. Well, it's going to be ball in hand to semi-pro, and semi-pro is going to combo that 8 ball, and that gets rid of Simon's extra money ball. So now it's even Stevens in this rack. If DJ Simon's going to win it, he's going to have to go all the way to the 9 ball. So you can see the problem ball, the 3 ball. Can he get on it? No, he's locked himself up behind a 5. And this isn't easy to get to. I don't know whether he can see past the 5 to hit the side rail. Yes, he can. So he can get the kick. Just needs to get lucky. Well, he got lucky the second time around, but it's not really safe. Simon just nudging the 3 onto the 4. Now, can he get back onto this 6? Well, there's no reason he shouldn't, because he's got a nice angle. Remember, the 8 ball, of course, is gone, so he's got to get back onto this 7. And then on the 9. Now, how is he positioned here? Well, a wee bit of left English. He can come back across the left-hand side and take the 9 into the same pocket. So, DJ Simon has got another one back. And it's 3-2 to semi-pro. And Simon breaking off in rack number 6. 5 ball goes in. And this time he's going to have a shot in the 1. The 2 balls up in the top left hand corner. 4 ball in the open. And the 8 ball tucked in behind the 9, but we can see that it goes. So this is an important visit to square the match. He's just gone a wee bit further than he would have liked there, but no problem getting on the 7. He needs to get top side of it as we look though. And he's the wrong side of it. He's not going far enough. Now he's going to have to work. Well, he's not taking the risk. He's leaving himself a none too easy 7 ball. And got to be thinking about that 8 ball. And he's got that all wrong. Now, is the bank on the 9 on? It looks like it's going to be pretty close. Down and up there. If he kicks into the 8, can he cut the 8? Well, he's going to scratch, so he's gifted this to semi-pro. And that's all went haywire. He got the wrong shot there to hold himself on that 8. And semi-pro can breathe a sigh of relief. He's going to open the gap to 2 again. Simon didn't have any of the required English on that cue ball to get the right side of the 8 and to get the cue ball around the table to get on it, and that's what blew his chance there. So semi-pro has broke off in rack number 7. The 5 ball is gone, thin cut in the 1, and everything is available. So DJ Simon's little glimmer there, getting those 2 racks, is maybe going to be snuffed out fairly rapidly here. Now, this is the only one that could cause a problem. Is the angle on the 4 cue balls running up the table. Now, we can see the 6 ball goes, but it goes if you get good on it. Well, he's gone drawn behind it, and that will do. Well, semi-pro's taking his eye off the ball there. Too busy typing and chatting and not focusing on what needed to be done there, and he's gifted a chance for Simon, albeit not an easy one. And he's overcut the 7 and just handed it back to semi-pro. What's happened here? Has he gone far enough? I think he has. Well, that's landed pretty nigh perfect on the 8. So it's going to be 5-2, and I've started yawning already at 8:30 at night. This is the longest day, June the 21st, and after tonight the nights start getting shorter, longer I should say, or to cut a long story short, it starts getting darker in the mornings. So dry break for semi-pro. Simon tried the bank. Look at where the 2 ball is. 2 ball up table. I need to get my line things sorted out. That's better. Two ball hidden in there. Well, one way or another, semi-pros can at least see the two. What's he going to try here? Nothing much, I don't think. He's just going to try and skim off the two and tuck it away. Well, he's managed to do that, but if Simon gets this right, he could have semi-pro in trouble. He'd got it too thin. That two goes. But now Simon's in a lot of bother now. Now it might be wise here not to move anything too much. And that's going to be ball in hand. So it just means that semi-pros got work to do to actually win this rack. If we look at the 5 and the 6, they're not set, so he's going to have to try and get the 3 fouls here. And that is mean. He can't get past the 7. Oh, he's managed to squeeze it round, but has he hit a rail? Yes, he has. Well, that was a good escape. And he's left it safe, I think. Let's see these. No, there's nothing doing there. Well, Simon can cut the 2 onto the 6. The 6 definitely goes, so... Oh, he's missed it. Oh, that's another nasty one. Tucked in behind a 5. That looks too much English. No, it's actually not bad. I thought that was too much. That's unlucky. It's a good effort. But this time, the 6 ball will go. He's going to play that 3 ball combo to open up the pocket. Might want a little bit of inside English here just to hold this cue ball up. Well, he's overcut the 3, but he's got away with it. And that was not the best of ideas. So here is the crucial shot in the rack, getting down onto that 7. Can only really go wrong if he hooks himself behind the 8, but he's okay. Well, maybe not. He has to avoid that 9 ball, so he's going to dig in. And now it gets interesting. That will cut, but it's thin. The cue ball, though, may well skim into that 9. Oh, he's managed to miss that as well. And left a tough cut. So, this for 6-2. And he's overcooked it. But again, it's gone tight. Oh, this is really ugly. This is what you don't want. That cue ball's frozen in the rail. And he's trying a little bit of inside right English just to help this. You've got to get it plumb perfect for it to go in. And he's played it nice. So DJ Simon managed to deal one back. Back to trailing by 2, looking for a ball in the break. I think the 4 ball just went in the top right, and he's got a shot in the 1. Where's this cue ball ending up? Well, that'll do. Now, can he get past that 9? No, he can't. And this is how you end up just getting out of shape. He's left a tough cut into the middle. He should be on the 5. That shouldn't be a problem. But he's trying to get it safe. He's okay. So this rack is up in the air at the moment. It can go either way. Semi-pro has to get lucky here. You just don't have any real idea where the 3 ball's going to end up. He's went for the cross bank, and that's excellent. He's sitting high on the 5, but if he gets the pace right, I think he can. He can certainly get that 6 ball. He can cheat the pocket and get that in. There's the result come in. Black Jagged against John Boo, and John Boo's won a final rack decider. 7-6. Black Jagged moves over to the 1 loss side. So Semi-Pro just tidying up this rack, and this will take him to the hill, leading by 6 racks to 3 with the break. Well, break is dry, but once again it's gone safe. So DJ Simon looking to push out now. He has to play a better push out here than he did the first time around. Well, there's good cover there up the top end of the table, and it's easy enough to skim off that and tuck the cue ball somewhere up the top end and get plenty of cover. Now, has he just sneaked out there? Yes, he has. He can just clip the 1. But the thing is, if he clips it, he's going to be clipping it towards this corner pocket. Well, that's why he's hit it harder, just to hope that it's going to go safe somewhere, but it hasn't. And now all the balls are open. And there's another result through. Houdini and Capo. And Capo has won that match. And he's just overcooked that slightly on this 4. He's left it a bit higher than he wants here. Well, the cue ball, even though it clipped off the 8, it's still in reasonable enough position. He can go up and down the table for this 6 into the left middle. Now he's going behind the 7. With the angle that he's got, shouldn't be any problem getting out for the 7 into the top left. Now this angle here in the 7 isn't perfect. it's not the ideal angle, because you're running in towards that top right hand corner, and that's what got him thinking there. And he was trying to drop on the short side of the 8, and it all to do with just what was left on the 7 there. It was just not a perfect angle, without doing too much with the cue ball to actually try and get good on that 8. He just tried to run it in. Now, can Simon see enough of the 7? No, he couldn't. And that's, well, it's tough. It's a thin one. Well, off the side rail on the right side, off the left rail and back across to leave a cut in the 9. That's the plan here. And that is perfect. So this match is over. And DJ Simon will move over to the 1 lost side, along with Black Jagged and Houdini. So Semi-Pro wins the match by 7 racks to 3. And we'll have a look at the bracket. So that's 3 results in, and we can see that Capo is getting the full boona. He's getting 5 and out against Mr. Bill, and that could end up being very interesting, that match. Capo slamming the balls all over the place. Any money ball could go in, and any result could happen in that match. And we see that Larry is now playing John Boo. Larry Gibbons 7 and out against John Boo. Semi-Pro is about to play Rico, and Semi-Pro's Gibbons 6 and out against Rico. And Simanx is what's he getting? I can't read that. Is that the? He's getting a 5 ball 5, and Tommy the Welder's 6-4 up. So that match is close to a conclusion. And now, what one will we go in and watch here? What's happening in the 1 lost side? Houdini, Black Jagged, DJ Simon, and oh, what happened in the first match? Simanx, what the hell happened there? Because it's showing that both players forfeited, so both players not enter the room. I don't know what happened there, but clearly neither of them went into the room, and possibly neither of them are here. Let's have a look in the lobby. Well, there's Spectre Dawn sitting there, and well, Simanx is in playing Tommy the Welder, so that's a strange one. I don't know what happened in their first match. Anyway, let's go in and have a look at this match here with Mr. Bill and Capo. This should be interesting. Remember, Capo has been given 5 and out, and Mr. Bill has won the first rack. But any mistakes by Mr. Bill, and he'll get punished, or he should get punished. But we know that Capo doesn't really put in, let's just say, he doesn't put an awful lot of thought into what he's doing, or he or she, I don't know whether he's male or female or whatever. So we're now down to the money ball situation, and this is where Bill can't afford a mistake. Well, he's going to have to leave a tough one on this 7, because it would be risky to try and pot. I think he's got too much angle anyway. It would be risky to try and pot that 6 and somehow find a gap down here. He's going to have to leave the long cut. No, he's going top on this by the look of it. Well, that's ended up with no real shot. I think he's just going to try and get this safe, which he has done. And no doubt Capo's going to have a blast here. Where's the 7 ball going? Oh. Well, that could have just dropped in, but it's a chance for Bill. Plenty of room to get the cue ball out onto the 8, but he's not risking running it around the table. He's content to play this 8 ball at distance, and that doesn't always guarantee you getting good position in the 9. But he's got the weight right. So this for 2-0. But this 5 and out handicap can turn a match so quickly. It just needs Bill to make 1 or 2 mistakes and he's then going to have his back against the wall. But he's comfortably 2-0 in front at the moment. Breaks off in rack number 3. 3 balls going down and all the balls are there for the taking. So as we say, there's really no excuse. Plenty of room to get up the table and get on that 4 ball in the top right hand corner. And he's got a bit too much juicer on that one. He's now running around, and this is where things can go wrong. As soon as you start running the cue ball, he's going to bank this 4. So he's out of shape now. So this, again, it will go. Plenty of room to go past, but it just puts a bit of pressure on the shot. Because when you see where that 6 ball is, he's got to move the cue ball. There's another result in. Tommy the Welder has beaten Simank 7-5. Where's the cue ball? Well, that's a disaster, and that's what happens. And Capo, ball in hand, and just needs to pot the 5. And this is what I mean. When mistakes start creeping in, the match can just turn on its head. But straight away Capo's broke and scratched and given Mr. Bill ball in hand. Again an open table. There isn't really a problem ball in the table. It's all about just keeping control of the cue ball and getting it to do what you want it to do. Well, he's just going to drop this in because he doesn't want that cue ball to squirt away out behind the 8 ball. He wants to keep it near to that right rail. And he's almost, believe it or not, he's done it. He's gone far too far. And he's done himself behind the 8. That's the only thing that could go wrong there. And he's dug out the jump cue. It's going to be a jump from distance over that 8 ball. And now he doesn't know where the cue ball's going. Well, that's actually ended up pretty good. I think he can squeeze. He can squeeze the angle on that 6, no problem. Well, it's just about the weight of shot here. Just drop the 8 ball in off the top rail and back into the table for a shot in the 9. And that's pretty good. So it should be 3-1. 2 ball in the bottom right hand corner, but Bill has got no joy. He can see the one, he's not really got a shot. It's not a good bank, the position it's sitting in, so he's going to look to, well, he's managed to get the bank, because it's always dangerous. You're more than likely going to get the double kiss, but he's managed to pull it off. And another good 4 ball. Well, he's got to see, this is where it can end up going wrong. If that 4 ball doesn't go past the middle, all Capo has to do is pot the 4 and drop the 5 in to very quickly get a rack back here. He's let the cue ball loose, but it's okay. Well, the 9 ball's gone in. Yeah, the 9 balls went in off the break. I think aye, that is a 9 ball. I was thinking, I'm looking to see what that was. So it's been re-spotted. And it's a little cut back on the 2, but I don't know whether he can avoid the traffic here to get on this 3 ball. Yeah. That was never going to be easy to have any sort of shot in the 3, but he can certainly get distance, but can he keep it covered? Can bank it back across. Oh, he's managed to get a good thin edge, and that will do. Although it's not hidden, it's still a perfectly safe shot. And so is that. Used the 4 ball as a stopper. Will Bill be tempted to play the bank? The bank goes, the 3 ball goes past the 8 down into this bottom left. Well, he's not prepared to take that risk. Preferring to keep things tight, keep Capo in trouble. Well, that now makes it interesting, because although Capo has got the kick, he hasn't got it safe. But look at the 5, the 9 and the 8. They're clustered in the middle of the table, and nothing's doing there at all. And what's more, Bill's got himself hooked again. But no immediate danger for Bill, as long as he gets the kick on the 4. And he doesn't split them up with this jump shot. It's unlikely he will. It still leaves no great opportunity for Capo either, so it remains to be seen what happens at that top end of the table. Well, this time Bill has got a shot in the 4, but he's going to have to try and get back up the top side somewhere in this zone to have a safety shot on that 5. And that will do. That's where he wants to be, and he could easily, I think, punch that 5 ball. Now, he doesn't want to bank this by mistake. He's just trying to lock the cue ball there. Well, he's went all out for the bank. Well, that's throwing all your eggs into one basket, and he's not good on the 6. I would have much preferred to lock Capo up there. You see, he's made the mistake in the 6, and he's given Capo a gift to tie the match up at 3 racks all. When you're given 5 and out, you've got to really keep him tucked up. A great opportunity to lock Capo behind the 8 and 9 there, and Bill went all out, and it backfired on him, and we've got a match all square now. And Capo, of course, Capo doesn't have a break cue, so all his breaks are soft. He's only using the house cue, and he's come up dry. And Bill has scratched. Now, what does Capo do? Does he try a long combo on the 7? Or just pot the 1? Because the 2 ball's locked up over behind the 5. So there's nothing doing there. And that's exactly what Capo... Look at the 7. Where's it going? Oh, he's okay. Two ball is tucked in there, so it's well hidden. And again, Bill has got the kick, but he's left a possible billiard or a combo, and the combo has gone in. And all of a sudden, Capo's in the lead. And I think the 9 ball has dropped in again. It gets respotted. I don't think the 1 cuts. And it's gone safe. So Bill's going to have to keep things fairly tight here and be careful. Plays the combo. Once again, he's scratched. And we could have another combo here. He's got a choice. The 1 onto the 6 to cut it in. Or the 1 on the 5. And this is why 5 and out is so punishing. But Capo didn't really make a great effort at that. And that's going to be another disaster. Bill hasn't got to the rail. And this time, well, I don't know whether Capo's paying any attention, but he's got the 1-5 combo, which looks simple enough. And he's not, well, he's aware of it, and he's going for it. I thought he wasn't watching what was happening there. And in goes the 5. And it's now 5-3 to Capo. The 1, the 9 and the 7 are tied up. Oh, that 9's going close to the corner. And the billiard from the 1 onto the 5 gives Capo a 3-rack lead. 2 ball goes in. 7 balls hanging over that right corner pocket. He's got a cut in the 1. And he's had a blast. And Bill cannot afford 1 more mistake, or he's going to have to do things the hard way from the 1 lost side. But it's looking a bit grim at the moment, but he's got his chance here. If it misses the 5, well, he's clipped the 5. He's still okay, but he's now made it. He's made the 5 a lot more difficult. And now he's got himself in a lot of trouble, and well, he's just had a blast, a hit and hope, but it's given Capo the chance for the match. This 5 ball has given Capo the win by 7 racks to 3, and that's why 5 and out is so tough. You can't afford mistakes, and that's cost Bill heavily. And so Capo goes through. Let's have a look at the bracket. That will update in a second. Capo will move to there, and Larry is now 4-2 up against John Boo, and Larry's given 7 and out in that match. Semi-Pro is given, 6 and out to Rico. Semi-Pro is looking good in that match. He's 5-2 up. And, well, if it goes the way it's going, it looks like Larry at the moment could be playing Capo, and it'll be exactly the same for Larry. He'll be given 5 and out to Capo. And meanwhile, on the one loss side, we've got Spectre Dawn about to play Mr. Bill, and that's going to be interesting. And Mr. Bill is already in the room. It's only a race to 4, so that's the match we're going to watch. And they're probably lagging off at the moment. And Mr. Bill has won the lag. It's a scratch game, but it's only to 4. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. Well, Bill's broke off, a couple of balls in the break, but one of the balls was the cue ball, and straight away he's given, in fact, 1, 2, 3 balls in the break. And Spectre Dawn has got a gift straight away here to get up and running. And it's 1-0. Well, Bill had a perfectly good break. 3 balls went down in the break. The 4th ball that went down was the cue ball. And that was the end of that rack. And Spectre Dawn breaks off in rack number 2. And the 1 ball has gone. And look at where the 3 is. I mean, the 3's open to both corner pockets here in the bottom rail. But how does he get there? Especially with the shot that he's left on the 2. And he's just tried to drop it in dead weight. And that was a pretty good effort. I think he could see enough of the 3 to pot it. Now Bill's looking for the long kick here. He's got a margin of error. He can go to the rail first. And that will do very nicely indeed, because that's the perfect one to get at least a shot in the 3. But he's going to have to dig the cue ball out. And he's really hoping to get lucky. And that is not bad. Although he's the wrong side of the 4. Once again, he's going to have to spin this cue ball around 3 or 4 rails here to hopefully get a sight on the 5. Well, he's left himself at long distance with a thin cut. Not an easy shot. Now that needs to clip the 9. And that will do very nicely. Now can he drop onto this 7? He doesn't want to fall short of it behind it. Well, he's kind of chickened out there. He hasn't gone through far enough, and he's making it difficult. And there's the result come in. Semi-Pro has beaten Rico by 7 racks to 2. Meanwhile, Bill tucks away the 7. He should be home and dry here. So we are going to be all square. And Bill breaking off in rack number 3. And he needed that. And the break is dry. And Bill may well be in trouble here if Spectre Dawn chooses to play the safety, because he can get tucked up The shot I would play would be off that side of the one and run down. And he's going all out for the pot. And it's not the ideal angle. I don't know whether he can just squeeze through past that 8 ball. Oh aye, plenty of room. Well, it's all out for the win here. It's not the perfect table. We'll look at where the 6 is. That 6, well, it does go if you can get good on it. And he's finished pretty straight on the 5. Now, can he go top? And well, that is going to end up, I think, perfect. That is perfect because he's got a good guide with a 9 ball just to clip the 6 in. Still got to think about the 7 though. And that is very nice. So, Spectre Dawn had the opportunity to play a decent safety, but went all out. And he's got the reward. He goes back into the lead. But he's come up dry. And wide open table. And got to be a run out here for Bill. Needs to bounce off the rail, that will do. And plenty of room to drop over to the right hand side for the 3. Now this is now a problem because he's too straight in the 3 and he's trying to just stun off the rail to get out, and he's made not a bad effort at it. In fact, it's pretty good to give him an angle here. Well, the shot is pot the 5 and back over to the left hand side. He's looking to just draw up the table slightly to drop it into the left middle, but I don't know whether he can hold this. I think he can drop it in and still hold for the 7. But the angle that he's got in the 7, if he goes to drop that in, he's got to drop it in dead weight while he's playing a lot of left English here to spin around. 1, 2, and disaster. And that all came about with a final position on the 7 there, having to run the cue ball around to get on the 8, and he's gifted it to Spectre Dawn again. And Spectre Dawn just needs one more and breaks off in rack number 5, and there's the result through. On the 1 loss side, Simanx has beaten Houdini by 4 racks to 3. Meanwhile, Spectre Dawn breaks off and it's dry. Well, that's the same as the last rack. Bill had a wide open table then, got out a line on the 7, and this time though it's not quite as simple. If he gets as far as the 4 ball, it's going to be a 4-8 combo because that's dead set. So you don't have to move anything up the top end, you just have to get anywhere to be able to play the cut combo. And I don't know what happened there. Anyway, whatever it was, it's gone in. And Bill's missed the cut, and the combo's still there for Spectre Dawn. Well, you would think if Spectre Dawn Well, he's going to leave himself long on the 5 here. Don't think he's going to do a heck of a lot with the cue ball here other than leave the long shot in the 5. Well, this match is looking like it's over. Again, just a dead weight shot in the 7. And so Spectre Dawn has ended Bill's participation in this week's Friday Night 9-ball. He wins this one-loss side match by 4 racks to 1. Right, so things are taking shape now. Let's see where we've got to. Larry is now tied up 5 racks all with John Boo. And remember, Larry's given 7 and out in that match. Let's go in and see the finish of that match. We've got Larry at the table on the 6 ball and looking very likely to be just 1 rack away after this visit. Oh, that has gone. That has gone badly wrong for Larry. That's the only place he didn't want to finish up, and he's got himself hooked in the 8, and he's now looking to kick this and hopefully kick it in for his sake, because if he leaves it out anywhere, his opponent could be on the hill, and he made a good effort at it. Now John Boo needs to watch the scratch here down in this bottom left hand corner, and he's played it nice. And so, well, that looked all too easy for Larry, and the only place he could put himself in trouble was tucking himself behind the 9-ball, and that's what happened. And so now John Boo breaks off in rack number 12. He's come up dry, and Larry's got a thin cut in the 1. He should be on the 2, no problem though. But let's look at what else he's got to deal with. Well, that 5 ball doesn't go. It doesn't go. Not into that corner, it doesn't. Now if you get down here somewhere, which you can do off that 4, you can have a shot on the 5 into the corner. But that's all he's going to have. And he's played it nicely onto the 3. Now, the angle is pretty good to get up towards that right middle pocket if he can. The closer to the right middle pocket, the better shot he's going to have in the 4. Well, I don't know. He's trying to get on the shorter side of the 4, but in doing that, he's missed the 3 and hung it up. But it's still not a disaster for Larry because of where the 5 ball's sitting. Now, John Boo, well, what he doesn't want to do is to open up that 5 and 9. And he's fluked to 4, and look at where the cue ball's finished. It's finished exactly where you'd want to be to at least have a shot in the 5. But if he misses this, like he has done, Larry will be all over like flies in a jam jar, so he will. And this is still not a gimme. It's a gentle little tuck along the rail. Well, this time he's avoided the hook. So Larry looking to square the match up here take it to a final rack decider. He's gone straight in the 7, but in all honesty, he doesn't need to be worrying too much about the cue ball. He's going to have a shot in the 8. He's managed to spin it out. Well, the simple shot here is go forward. Forward with the cue ball and back down the table. It leaves you a shot into the corner or around the angles. As long as he misses a 9, well, he's okay. Just doesn't want to take his eye off the ball here. So in it goes, and Larry's going to be breaking in the final rack decider. And a reminder that although Larry's given 7 and out in this match, if Larry was to win this match, he's going to be playing Capo next. And that's going to be worse news for him. He's going to be given the 5 and out. So the 5 ball has gone down. Larry's got a very thin cut in the 1. Not easy, that shot. Well, John Boo eventually gets the 1 ball to drop. No shot in the 2. And that's poor. Got the weight of that shot all wrong, and has just gifted Larry an opportunity here to pinch the match. Well, this is still a toughie. He's got to manoeuvre this cue ball a fair bit here. And that little draw into the 6 has given him good position in the 4. Now look at where the problem lies. The 8 ball is blocked off by the 9 into that top left hand corner. So Larry's going to have to decide what his options are here. It'll be a good shot to try and tuck in behind the 8. So it looks as if he's going to leave the bank, unless he's going to try and make some sort of combo in the 9. Well, he's tried to get himself under the 8. So he's left a tough 8. This is a tester. Pressure's on. And the result from the 1 loss side, Black Jagged is beaten Rico in a final rack decider 4-3. And meanwhile, Larry has tucked in the 8 ball and is sitting pretty good on the 9. So this will take Larry through to face Capo. And in it goes. So Larry wins the match against John Boo by 7 racks to 6. So, well, that's going to update in a second. We've got Black Jagged just about to play Simanx in the 1 loss side, and John Boo will be through to play Spectre Dawn on the 1 loss side once the bracket updates, I think. And sorry, no, John Boo's playing DJ Simon. It's the winner of that match that will go through to play Spectre Dawn, and Spectre Dawn is getting a 6 ball against DJ Simon. So now Larry has moved through to play Capo, and as we said earlier, Capo is getting 5 and out. That's a tough one. And meanwhile, Semi-Pro is leading by 3 racks to 2, giving the 8 ball to Tommy the Welder. Now let's go in and see if Larry can handle Capo, given 5 and out. We saw what happened with Mr. Bill. And it looks as if Capo has won the lag. And it also looks like Capo's fallen asleep. What's happening here? Oh, there he is. So, Capo breaks off. The 2 balls gone down. Larry's got no shot in the 1. So, really should be looking to get a half decent safety here. Well, Larry's again went for the bank, and Capo will be trying to tuck the 1 onto the 5, no doubt about it. No, he's cut the 1 in. Well, you just don't know what Capo's going to do. And in goes the 5, and it's 1-0. But a scratch and a break. So, ball in hand for Larry. Oh dear. Larry's jumped to pot the 5. He's managed to get it, but he's scratched. And so the 5 ball comes back up. The Capo has ball in hand to play the combo in the 5. What am I talking about? The 5 ball's the next ball on. So somehow I don't get the impression that Capo's given this match his full attention. He's distracted by something here. And this is the problem. He could come back to the table here and not know really what's happening, and not look at the top of the screen in the top right hand corner and see that he's got ball in hand, and just have a slash at this 5. So he's now lost his extension, and he's now given the clock over to Larry. And Larry, quite rightly, is just going to try and clear the table. Oh dear. Well, Larry's made a hash of that in his hurry to try and tuck away the rack, and in doing that he'd gifted a chance for Capo, and he in turn has blown that, so Capo's chance is gone in this rack. So Larry, for whatever reason, Capo blew his opportunity by not being at the table, and Larry's managed to win the second rack. And he breaks off, and Larry's got nothing in the break. Well, that's just going to bounce nice, I think, for a shot in the two. 3 ball over the left hand middle, 4 ball hanging over the bottom right hand corner. I can't see where the problem's going to be here for Larry. The only thing he doesn't want is to be dead straight in a 7 on the rail. Well, Larry could actually just nudge through onto the 7 here and still be on the 6. Well, he's not run through, or wasn't intended to run into anyway. But that's what I'm saying, he needs to get good on the 7 but not dead straight. And that needed a slightly more angle. He's just going to have to punch it in. And now he's got the cut back. So now he's out of line slightly here. It's not a dead set. And he's way off the mark on that 8 ball. Hit it onto the short rail. Didn't even get it into the jaw. And Capo, well, I don't know whether you can see the cut, but he's went for the cut into the left hand corner. Probably would have been better going for the bank to give himself at least 2 opportunities, but he's gifted it to Larry. So Larry goes into the lead. Let's have a quick look at the bracket and see how things are going. Well, the bottom match there, semi-pro, is now 5-2 in front against Tommy the Welder. And that's on the winner's side, of course. If we look over on the one-loss side, we see Simax is playing Black Jagged in the race to 4. And Simax getting a 7 ball. He's 2 racks. Well, it's now gone 2 racks all with Black Jagged. And that match with DJ Simon and John Boo. John Boo getting a 6 ball. And John Boo's 3 racks to 2 up. So very close to a result there. DJ Simon's going to have to win all the remaining racks to get through in that match. So back to the one that we're watching. Larry at the table. And looking good to go 3 racks to 1 in front. Oh dear. Oh, Larry's... I don't know whether he's in a wee bit of a rush, but he's just losing focus slightly. And against anyone else, this match could have been over. Capo having a blast here and handed it straight back to Larry. Larry's... Well, he's made a couple of loose shots, and fortunately for him, it hasn't cost him. And he's now 3-1 up. And again, I think Larry's came up dry. And Capo banks the 1 onto the 6, and it's 3-2. That's what I mean about matches just turning on their head with a 5-and-out handicap. And Capo's broke off. Again, it's dry. And not a pretty table for a run out. So Larry plays the push. Capo giving it a blast. Simple enough shot in the 1 for Larry, but how does he get any shot in that 2? Well, the gap is there. There is a gap, and the gap is within that window there, or he can try and get it from that side, which he's tried to get to, and I don't know whether he got enough of that. No, he hasn't. But he's got the next best outcome. He's got a tight safety, and Capo will do well to get anywhere near this 2-ball. Well, Larry could be tucking him up again here. And there's the result through. In fact, there's 2 results through. Simanx has beaten Black Jagged by 4 racks to 2. And Larry is going for the 3rd foul. Well, I thought he was. What was I talking about there? Yeah, the Simanx is... what the hell's happened here? Of course, I can't see that other result. Oh, John Boo has beaten DJ Simon by 4 racks to 3. So those 2 guys, their tournament's over. Meanwhile, Larry continues at the table. Well, again, the problem with 5-and-out is such a punishing handicap for somebody like Larry, because, you know, Larry's always inclined to try and clear the table. And when he's making unforced errors like he has done, it can cost him dearly. It's just that Capo, well, we know what he's like. But really, he could be pinching racks left, right and centre at any point. But as it is, Larry's now got that little comfort zone. He's opened up a gap. And he's breaking off in rack number 7, leading by 4 racks to 2. And he's scratched on the break. Now, what's he left here? And Capo with ball in hand. Well, what he doesn't want to do is blast and open up the 3 and the 6, but I don't think he'll even pay any attention to that. He's just did a blast at the 6. He's fluked to 1 and he's scratched himself, and he's given Larry... Well, this is playing right into Larry's hands, which is what he wants, because like most people, they know the way Capo plays. He just plays for fun, doesn't put much thought into it. And if he gets lucky, he gets lucky. That's basically how he plays. Larry just plotting his way around the table here before he starts. So 3 ball, and somewhere up into the middle of the table would be the plan, and ideally he wants to go further up. And still no harm done. Can play a little kill shot. And here's the crucial one. Getting up the table and on the 8. And anything but straight is what he wants. The usual rules apply. Well, he's got there, and that's perfect. A nice little angle. Doesn't do anything with the cue ball other than just get the pace right and drop up the table for the 9 into the right hand corner. So Larry's now got his comfort zone. He's now got a 3-rack lead and doesn't want to do anything stupid. 5 ball has gone in, and 1 ball very adjacent to that top corner. And I don't know whether Larry can thin it enough and just clip it to drop that in. Well, he decided to play the push. I've always said this, it's very easy to be critical of people like Capo, especially when we don't know what age group he is, or he or she is. You know, it just strikes me as a player who isn't playing the game to try and better their game. He's just playing it totally for fun and having a blast, and that's fine, you know. It's not so fine when you end up playing somebody like that in a tournament and you're giving them 5 and out. That's where the fun ends for the opponent, because you can see what happens. I mean, Capo can just have a blast at a ball and fluke something in, knock a ball around the table, and it ends up comboing a money ball in. And, you know, those really dig at you, so they do those shots. You hate them when you see them actually come, you know, getting lucky. Meanwhile, Semi-Pro marches on. He's beaten Tommy the Welder by 7 racks to 3. Larry has missed the 6, but it's gone safe. Well, I thought it had gone safe. Capo's just reverse banked it into the bottom left, and he's got 1 back. He's got a ball in the break. He's got no shot in the 1 though. I mean, the one thing you can say that somebody like Capo, probably if he plays pool in real life, he probably plays pool in real life very similarly. With the greatest respect, if he had learned anything in real life pool, if he does play it, then he surely would have brought that to the table, and clearly he doesn't. So he either doesn't play real life pool and hasn't learned anything there, because you don't see an awful lot of evidence in it when he plays. You know, even when he plays 3 cushion billiards, it's just a matter of, you know, carrying a ball and getting the cue ball moving around the table 2 or 3 times until it eventually hits something. I don't think he puts an awful lot of thought into any of those type of shots. But that's fair enough. You know, players want to play that way, that's fine. But Larry, with the combo on the 7, looks as if he's about to restore his lead here. And I think it's going to be bad news for Larry, because Larry's going to end up, if he wins this match, he's going to end up playing semi-pro, and he's more than likely going to be given semi-pro the 8 ball in the match against him. Good evening. It doesn't show up. Hang on a minute to check something. Let me just check something. It might have been killed on... Alright, we're going to lose the picture for a second or two while I go to the other website just to check something. Give me a sec. Well, there shouldn't be a problem in Facebook, because everything's okay my end. It's showing that one person is watching on Facebook, and it's showing that everything is working correctly. I don't know what it is. Let me double check. No, I can't see an issue on the Facebook thing, but I don't see anything coming up on the screen from Facebook. Now, who typed that? Who typed that? Because I don't see whose name it was. Anyway, back to the match. Larry looking to finish the match off here, and he should be home and dry. And John Boo has beaten Spectre Dawn by 4 racks to 1, and that's the hefty handicap playing its part there. Spectre Dawn is now out the tournament. And so Larry wins the match by 7 racks to 3. Yeah, one pocket handicap is a different kettle of fish to what do you call it? You know, Moneyball handicapping in any of these games. Right, let's have a look. So Larry is now moving through to play semi-pro. Larry won't be happy, because obviously semi-pro is a much higher rated player than he is, from the fact that he doesn't play an awful lot of 9-ball. He's picking up his rating as he wins matches, but he's still going to be given the 8-ball probably against Larry. One lost side, Capo's now playing Simax. John Boo is now playing Tommy the Welder, but this match we're about to see, folks, just a reminder, is probably going to be the last one of the night. It's time's moving on for me, and the old brain box is beginning to shut down. Yeah, I can't understand what the problem is with. In fact, let me check something here. Let me go check something. We're going to go into that match in a second or two. Just give me a minute to go to Facebook. Right, well, I typed something into Facebook there, and I don't see it coming up on the screen, and I don't see a problem with the Restream is the website that I use. They're the ones that feed the chat from all the channels, from Twitch, YouTube and Facebook. So I don't know what the hell has gone wrong there. I'm going to have to maybe refresh the setup with Facebook. Anyway, let's get into this match. This is going to be the one that will probably, I say probably, decide maybe the winner of the tournament, but we know that Capo's still there. John Boo, I think, is still there, and both of them will be getting hefty handicaps. Yeah, well, if Facebook starts playing up like this, I mean, it doesn't show any problem that there's no connection with Facebook. It shows us a connection because it shows somebody's watching, but certainly the chat isn't appearing on the screen. So we're in the first rack. In fact, it's actually a scratch match. Well, Larry will be pleased at that. Oh, there's only 2 points. There are only 2 points between them. I thought Larry would have been given semi-pro the 8-ball at least. Yeah, it's what? It's about 9:45 to 10 at night here, and I'm definitely going to call an end to it after this match. I've actually been trying to stop for the last few months. I had stopped for a while, but it's what do you call them? Rothmans. Rothmans that I've been using lately. You know what I don't like about Facebook? The fact that it only streams in 720. It doesn't stream in full what do you call it? Full HD. I don't know what happened. I haven't been paying attention. I've been busy reading the chat, and I don't know how Larry missed there, but semi-pro's back at the table. And it's going to be 1-0 to him because he's just going to roll in the 8 and drop on the 9. Well, whatever happened, Larry's lost the first rack. Semi-pro with the break. I see that in the last couple of 2 or 3 days, or over the last week, Shooter's Pool has been posting on their page about the new table that's coming. It's a diamond table that's coming into the game. It looks nice. They've got umpteen tables and umpteen brand names that they've got in their game, and you know, it just looks a lot more presentable than Virtual Pool 4 does. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, what I'm thinking is what happened to all those sponsors that Virtual Pool 4 should have had? I mean, we're talking top brand names, even the Simonis cloth, Simonis name, Simonis branded cloth name in that game as well. I mean, you have nothing like that in Virtual Pool 4. It just shows you that whatever you say about Shooter's Pool, they've certainly got connections to get the branded products names in the game. And Virtual Pool 4 has made little or no effort. It looks like that. Larry got the little break there. He's opened up the table and should be back all square. Well, I think Tin's a bit ambitious. 52 players in the lobby, and he's thinking 24 players are going to sign up for a tournament at, well, 10 minutes to 10 at night European time. I'll give him that. He's certainly ambitious. Well, this is going a little bit out of shape here. He's going to have to run the cue ball to get on that 9. Well, I thought that was tighter to the rail. That shows you I'm falling asleep. He's okay, he can just drop it in. So, we're all square, 1 rack all, and this is the hot seat match to see who gets through to tonight's final. And it doesn't matter who wins this match, whoever gets to the final, they're going to be given a hefty handicap. Spectre Dawn has gone out the tournament, so that means that of the players that are left, either Semi-Pro or Larry are going to be given 2 or 3 or even 5 and out, depending on how things work out on that one loss side. Semi-Pro back at the table. He's gone short on a 3. Probably looking to play the bank into the right corner behind the 5. And, well, he didn't get good in the 4, but at least he's left it safe. Now, can Larry get this thin? I don't think he can see enough of the 3. I don't think he can get the cue ball very far away, and that was always going to be the problem. He couldn't see. He wanted to see more of the left hand side of that 3 to get the cue ball away up the table, and he couldn't. Now, can Semi-Pro get out and get a sight on this 4 ball? He's going to clatter into the 5. He's just going to hope to. Oh, he's got the double kiss. That has helped very nicely. And that is perfect. Just drop behind the 9. Good angle in the 5. Get the cue ball up the table for the 6 into the right middle. So this is just all about the weight of shot. He wants to get top side of that 6. He wants to be up here or there, anywhere in that sort of region. Well, that'll have to do. Now, does he just try and drop out behind the 9? Just leave the 7 ball long. And that looks okay. And should leave himself a decent angle on the 8 ball to manoeuvre the cue ball around and up the table. He could go for the straight draw, or he could go top and a little right. So semi-pro, given a chance, and gets the job done and goes into the lead 2 racks to 1. Well, I know one thing, I've not changed anything on Facebook. I haven't touched any settings in Facebook, and I know that it's set up to work on through the restream thing, and there's nothing on my end telling me there's a problem, so I can't fathom out what it is. But I certainly can confirm that the chat isn't showing, having typed something myself and it hasn't appeared. Well, that's a poor one from semi-pro. No, shit, what am I thinking? That tells you my brain has just gone to sleep. I mean, I was thinking he was trying to play a safety there, not realising it was a push-out. At the moment, half of my body's lying in bed, the rest of it's just trying to stay awake. This is when I make the biggest mistakes. And meanwhile, semi-pros try to play a very tight jump shot, no room at all whatsoever, and Larry's got ball in hand again, so they're all there for the taking, provided he can get the one past the 3 or the one into the middle. Yeah, that was a class jump shot. Bottom of the class. Well, Larry's way wrong side of the 3, so he's going to have to get around the table here, or he's playing with a lot of inside English. Either or, he has to avoid the 5, and he's well away from that. But now he's gone straight, so immediately we've got a problem developing here. And he's managed to get the little draw. Well, I wouldn't count your chickens, Dom. Bear in mind, Capo's getting 5 and out. As long as Capo's still in the tournament and getting 5 and out, anything can happen. And John Boot has beaten Tommy the Welder 4 racks to 1. And John Boot, what was he getting? Let's have a look. Yeah, John Boot was getting, I can't read that, 6 ball was it? He wants to make that text bigger, especially the handicap thing. He needs to make that black, that handicap text, instead of red. And it's not big enough text. I can't read the damn thing. Well, it's safe to say that the winner of this match is going to have a little wait. They can go and have a coffee and have like half an hour's break or more before they play the final, because there's work to get done on that one loss side before anything happens. So Larry and Semi-Pro were tied all square, 2 racks all. Larry breaking off in rack number 5, and it's the same old story. Dry break. Yeah, we're now heading towards the top of the hour. The tournament's been on for just nigh on 2 hours. Well, we all know where the problem ball is. It's that 7 ball. It's in an ugly spot. It doesn't go anywhere past the 9, and it doesn't go into that corner. But because the 6 ball is there, he can, well, he could drop behind the 7 and play it long. That's the only option he has. But can he still do that? Yes, he can. Just needs to get across the table or kill the cue ball. And he's got a perfect angle in the 6 just to drop onto the top rail and get fairly straight if he can on this 7. He's gone a wee bit too far. And now this is a bit of a tester. Well, the 8 ball's tight, but it does go past the 9. But with the angle he's got, well, he could just play the stun, so that's perfect. So it's Semi-Pro who goes back into the lead. 3 racks to 2. 9 ball goes in on the break. It'll get respotted. 1 ball goes in. Something else dropped into the right middle. I don't know what one that was. But we've lost the 1 and we've lost the 8. And Semi-Pro has a shot in the 2, and he can drop in between the 6 and the 3 for that 3 ball down the rail. Nice angle to allow him to do that, but he's left it way short. Yeah, it was never a great position for the bank, but it's landed for Larry to have an opportunity here. A little gentle roll onto the 5 with the 3 ball, just so the 3 ball doesn't escape and go behind that 4. He wants to leave it on. Just got to get it dead weight. And it's almost tucked away. Now, can he see enough to cut it? Yes, he can. And that was always the sort of danger there with just too much weight. The 3 ball can just escape and hide behind the 4. But he landed okay. And now this is a slight problem here with this 6 ball. It is in an awkward position in the middle pocket there. And Larry needs to get as close to this rail as he can so that he's cutting the 6 down the rail rather than trying to knock it in from out in the table, because he could scratch the middle. This is not easy as it looks, and that's why he's had to try and run up the table. Now, what's he ended up with here? I think he's okay. He can just drop it in. But he can't drop it in that much. He needs to get the cue ball out for the 8. Now, anywhere up by the middle pocket on the left hand side will do nice. And that's perfect. That's exactly where you want to finish up when the 9 ball's more or less on the head spot. So Larry squares the match up again. We're at 3-all. I don't think Larry could buy a ball in the break. I think I've yet to see him pot a ball in the break. If he did, I can't remember. In any of the matches I've seen, it just hasn't been running in tonight. And immediately, Semi-Pro has a shot in the 1. In goes the 1. Well, this rack's over from what I can see. The only problem is getting good on the 6 from the 5. That's the only issue there could be, because we know the 6 ball's blocked off by the 9 and the 8 for the top right, but it goes into every other pocket, so there's a 1 in 5 chance of getting good on this 6 ball. And that ain't it. That is not it. That's terrible. He's leaving the bank. I don't believe he wanted to leave the bank. And from his comment, I don't think he did either. That needs to go. I think the pace is there. Is it going to die? It's going to kiss the rail. And in it goes. Well, that was hanging in a knife edge there. I thought that touching the rail was going to kill it. But everything's worked out okay. So Semi-Pro from Larry's dry break is going to run out and go back into the lead. It's very much nip and tuck here. It may well go all the way. And of course, wouldn't you know it, Semi-Pro has broke off, came up dry, and look at the table. I mean, this is just a feast for anybody who's got half a knowledge of how to just run the table. And unless Larry does something stupid, it should be all square again here. And he's got to be careful here. Very easy to just lock himself behind a 4, and he's managed to avoid that. Well, it's now going slightly awkward because he's going to have to get the pace on this cue ball right. He's left it a bit short and he's just getting himself out of line. And that will do. He's going to have to just dig in a wee bit here, or just spin around. Whatever he wants to do, he can spin off the rail. Now is he going straight again? Yeah, cast iron straight. And this is where you've got to control the pace. And he's underhit it. You see, that ended up more of a stun than a draw. He was trying to just get that mixture of both there, so he's left himself short. And it's another one into a blind pocket. He should be okay though. There's a reasonable margin of error here. This is not as bad as some cuts into corners. Oh dear, he's hung it up. Well, that is one that's got away, and that might be the significant miss, because in a match that so far has gone one way then the other, sharing racks between one another, the unforced error has been made by Larry, and it's gifted Semi-Pro a rack to give him a bit of a cushion. 5 racks to 3. Yeah, I don't know. I would have just rolled it in dead weight and played the long 9. There isn't any problem, because the 9 was easy enough from distance. I would have just chickened out and given the 8 ball every opportunity to drop. So Semi-Pro, ball in the break, sitting nicely on the 3, and a nice little gap to tuck the 4 down into the right corner and out for the 5. Doesn't want to hit this too hard though, just wants to drop it in and get out past the 7 and no more. And that is ideal. That's exactly where you want to be. And a decent angle in the 6, off the side rail and back across. Where's the problem here? I don't see one. And if he can get good enough on the 7, he can just draw that 7 in. A little stun if he wants. 8 ball into the same pocket. 9 ball in the middle of the table. Well, that angle he's got there, he could draw up for the 9 into the left middle. So Semi-Pro has now opened up the gap to 3, and Larry is at the point of no return. So at the moment Larry's looking favourite to go to the one lost side, and he's got his work cut out there no matter who he meets. Not saying that he's not still favourite to win on that side if he goes through, but he's given away hefty handicap. It doesn't matter who he ends up with, and it's only a short race to 4, and the match could be over in a blink of an eye. And meanwhile, Semi-Pro's tried the bank in the 1. Now, can Larry keep it together? He's got the first problem straight away, squeezing the 1 past the 3 to hold for this 2 ball, and he's managed to accomplish that. Now he needs to be able to sneak out off this 6 to get on that 8, and that will do. And here's the problem one. It's so easy. The 9 ball's right in the middle of the table. It looks so easy, but you've got to get the pace right, and he's played it perfect. Again, anywhere near the middle pockets when the 9's on that head spot, and you're okay. So Larry's got 1 back. Now, can he get a ball in the break? He's had little or nothing on the break all the time I've seen him tonight. And the 2 ball has gone in this time. He's got a thin cut back into the right middle, and the 3 is available in past that 8 ball in the top left hand corner. If you can get around the table though without bumping into any traffic. Now, if he plays this with right inside English, well, that's maybe ended up really ugly. He's collided with the balls up the top end and he's blocked off his path. Now, surely he's got to play the safety. He can roll in behind the 9 here rather than risking any ambitious capo combo. And that's too heavy. Larry, that is way too heavy. He's going to be in trouble himself here. If Semi-Pro can squeeze this past and just hold and get it to a rail, I don't even think he can do that. I think it's too tight. He would love to just push that 3 ball past the 6, but it's too close. Oh, he's managed to squeeze it in. Well, it's all out for the win here now for Semi-Pro. Yeah, that was a good shot. Well, the 7 ball comfortably goes past the 8, and this match is all but over. And while Semi-Pro is clearing up, a thank you to those viewers that have been watching tonight. I'm sorry I can't go all the way, folks, but needs must. I need to get my sleep, as little sleep as it is. I still need those few hours. Well, he's managed to just clip it in off the 8. Just a kill shot and a roll in and a 9. So Larry's going to have to do it the hard way if he's going to get the rematch in tonight's final. So Semi-Pro has won the match by 7 racks to 4. We'll have a final look at the bracket and see how things are going. So we know that Semi-Pro is... this bloody bracket does my head in. Semi-Pro's now through into the final, and Larry has moved across to the 1 loss side final. And Simanx, in fact, Larry's not going to have a long wait for that match, because Simanx is 3-2 up in a scratch match against John Boot. And then, of course, the winner of that will play Larry. What the hell happened to Capo? Well, Capo got beat 4-1. I never even noticed that result going through. Capo was getting a 6 ball against Simanx. Well, no doubt Larry's going to be given hefty handicap to either of them. Right, well guys, thanks for watching. I'll bid you good night, and we'll see you again sometime, folks. Take care.